Hello guys, so let's start our today class on Turbo Repo, right? We'll continue from the yesterday. Yesterday we just created one project here. In that, the last things we did was, just go through this folder, right? So in the app where your main app will present, right? Like we have two Next.js app here, Docs and the web, right? These are the two Next.js app. If you just look at one Next.js app, right, and then see, it's similar. When you build your app, you'll get .next, the compiled app right here. And the, whatever is this one, like localhost 3000 or localhost 3001, is reading all the data from this one, this compile, right? This build folder, okay, that .next. If you delete this one and then again, you're going to run later uh, npm run build or maybe npm run dev, right? This turbo dev will basically run this app, all the project inside, right? Docs and webs, and build it back again. Okay. If it's already built and it's in the cache memory, right? It will just give you the ready-made app from the cache. Means it's there already, right? Quick. So that is all Turbo Repo is doing. Also, it has package folder, right? Where you're gonna find like UI, which is the main, like let's call it main component, or basically the place where you're going to create all your component, right? And which is shared throughout the project. Like from UI, if I have the source folder button, right? This button is shared in all this app here, right? So, okay, let's do one thing. npm run dev, npm run dev, right? And it will run the project very quickly. See that? Because it was cached from yesterday already, right? So I have now, let's see, doc dev and doc dev, right? Look at this, doc dev. So it runs inside the docs, right? And also you'll find doc web somewhere here, doc web, right? Dev webs, okay? Look at that. So if I go localhost, let's the doc is the 3001, right? So I'll just go in the doc inside the app now, right? And the page, where is the page here? You have the button imported, okay? So we can clean up this quickly and just check, right? Let's clean that up. So the button, it needs app name, right? And even you can pass like some style also. So I'm just gonna copy this for now, later to use. Delete the rest, okay? Maybe you're gonna need this, what do you call that, button and style. This is the module, right? I don't know if you guys remember the page.modules. This is the one other way of creating CSS file also. It's okay. Let's delete quickly. I'll just delete all that and add new div, right? And put this button here, okay? We are not using image, just remove that. See, simple button. The button is created with TypeScript also, right? So you can pass some, like props here, okay? You can pass the class, you can pass some text here like app name, and you're going to receive it inside your button. Go back to the button, right? In the UI button here. So see the props here is children, which you're going to pass in between the button, right? The text, class name, and app name, right? You're going to receive here. So the class name is optional. You have to provide children in the app name, right? In order to make this button work. And inside the button, now look at here, the normal HTML button, which has class name, we just pass from other side, right? You get the class name, and on click alert, and when you alert, right, you just apply this app name, okay? So that this button becomes more dynamic and it can be used anywhere, right? Simple example, okay? So 3001, let's go live now, right? And you will see some things simple button like this. If I click here, hello from your doc app, right? That's what I get. Okay. So we get similarly, like if we need to add new page, right? Or let's say I want to add new, first thing is how we going to add new file here now. How we going to add new file, right? So in our next just how we create a new direct, let's say route, how we do that inside the app. Let's call it admin, right? Admin like that. And inside admin, you're going to have page, right? Yes, yes. And we call it admin page, okay? So let's say we created the admin page, right? If we go back now and then call it admin, we get admin page here. Look at this. We get that, right? It's working. But the next thing is how we gonna add the component now, right? I mean, we know now how to create page, but let's add component, okay? One component called admin, right? In the UI. So there is two different way. See, if you look at right how we read something from the UI, that is what we have to understand. Okay, the first thing is in every folder, in every project, right? In the app doc package.json, you'll find something. Let's call it here. Depends on this repo UI, right? Project, okay? Repo UI, which is the UI inside the package, right? UI. So when we, and also you have to basically you can import from here, right? Anything you need, you just import from here. So in our doc or even in the web, okay, same thing you're gonna find. So in the UI, let's go to the UI, right? Package.json. That's the name. Okay, this is the name of this project, right? So you are importing from that one. Okay. So let's say I need to create one component called admin. So inside the source, I can add one component, right? Also, okay, so let's add it. Step one, let's create admin. That's maybe uh, header, right? Something like that. Okay, and we call it admin header. Okay, this is what we are exporting. I mean, exporting default. We just export. No need to default, right? Remove that. So we're gonna call this admin header, and you will receive this text, right? We're gonna add some. Okay, we don't have tailwind here, so let's forget about that for now. Again, that will be different way to set up, right? Let's not go in that way, that path for now. How are we gonna create? Simply how are we gonna create one component and share to other projects, right? Done. So the first thing we have to do is you have to go to your package.json and give a name here, something like this, right? Similarly, you have to export, okay? We call it dot slash, maybe admin, just call it admin, right? And then dot slash source slash admin header, right? Dot tsx, okay? That's what we have to say. That is all right. So we can call this admin now in other place, correct? I hope that should be okay, right? So now go back to the first project here in the admin, right? And import that. Import. What is that? Admin header, right? Import admin. It's not reading, right? Header from @repo UI slash admin, right? So this is the name we export, right, in the package JSON, and that's what we get. And then we're gonna just display here admin header. Hopefully that will, so we can see now, right? The text appear. Okay. So if you go back now and make any changes in this admin header, it should work perfectly fine. So S1 hello from admin header, right? And save. So see, things are working, right? You just, and same component if you want to use in other place also, you can do the same thing now, right? We are in the doc. We just go to the app now, and maybe in the page here, right? You can import it in the same format. Okay, import admin header now from repo admin, right? And then you can use it anywhere here, admin header. Okay, and it should work. If I go to the localhost 3000, and you're gonna see, right, on the top, see here is the admin header, and then hello from admin header, right? Okay, so we learn how to create component and use it, right? But see, this is a long process. Okay, this is a long process of adding, like create the component here in the source, then update your packages, and right here, and then finally you will be able to import. So the turbo repo, right, what this did is they come up with the, like smart idea, right? What is the idea now? In the UI, in the turbo, right? Look at here in the turbo, came up with a generator, some kind of generator, right? So let's look at the generator, and I hope, yeah, in the package, inside the package, there is something. This will be in the UI, right? Let's generator. I was just reading how to use that template config, right? Maybe in the config. Okay, so see it says, right, something like that. Generator run this function will return like a prompts. Okay, let me think, right, how to use that one. Even I forgot the syntax. So let's see, it's in our content. I just put here somewhere, right? Okay, maybe I miss it. Let me check quickly. So how we gonna generate now, right? How we gonna generate the component? Okay, the first thing what we have to do is we have to go back to our UI, right? UI inside this package, okay, and then run the command. So let me open the new terminal, right, and cd to package there, right? And inside the package, let's see, inside the package, we have UI, right? And UI has all that, okay, like this turbo generator and everything is inside the UI, right? So let's go to the cd to UI, right? And now run, right? npm, the command is basically npm. I didn't put in that context, right? npm, where is that? Run. Okay, npm run generate, right? Generate component. Okay, like component, right? So just run this command and see what happened. Okay, we're gonna npm run generate component, right? And we'll give the name later if it will ask, right? So turbo gen react component is just running. it will ask what is the name of your component, right? So I will call it maybe what we can call, right? Any name of the component. Just call it maybe input box, right? Okay, and enter. If you look at here now, change made, right, to your source. So this is a component name. In the source, input box is created, added, right? And in the package JSON, appended also, okay? So just little makes, once we know how to use this shorthand, right, it will make more sense, okay, more easy. Let's go back to our, what is that? Source, and we're gonna have the input box here. And you can see now, right, this is the component generated. You can see input box. You can import now, right? You can import this, export cons input box. And if we look at the package JSON, you're gonna see same thing here also, right? Input box added. Okay, so now when you import, it will give you this name, import from here, right? Let's try to import that in our page. So import input box, right? From at the rate slash UI slash input box, and then just call it below this, right? Okay, so maybe this spelling is not correct. Let's check now. Okay, so that should be, what is that? Let me close all that. Header I don't need. Okay, let's go to the component itself and verify, right? Input box. Input box, right? Yeah, that is okay. It says missing. Okay, so I mean the way it created, right? I mean we can add some input box there, but it says children is missing, right? Okay, so this is a component, we have to pass some children, right? Because if you look at this, the way it created div and you pass something here, right? I mean we can pass like some kind of you know input, right? Let's pass it. Let's try to do that. So this is the component, and if there is children missing, you must pass it here, right? So it depends what is the children, right? What happened? Control G. Slash input box. Now just pass maybe, but just pass H1 for now, right? No people care. Hello input box, right? Okay. Now error is gone. We can check here. It was in one of these, right? Hello from admin. Refresh it. Okay, we don't see, right? What is the children, What is children? Children is a React node, right? Uh, Input box. You can pass anything there. Input box, but it's not working. Okay, let me remove this. Yes, somehow this not work. Okay, let's just make this simple component, right? What we're gonna do is just take out all this. I don't know. We it should work. We input box, right? We passing the children. That should work. We just pass anything there. Okay. Page here, right? In the page, that's the admin. Close that. I don't need for now. This is our component in the web we are using, right? Just below the admin header input box. That is okay. Okay. I don't know if we have to restart, right? The because of the changing in the packages, and I don't know. Let's try npm run dev, right? And refresh. Still compiling. Okay, it did not work, right? Somehow something not correct. It did not work. Okay, it did not work. Yeah, so something wrong with this component, right? I mean, but it's okay. Let's forget about. Oh, here. Sorry, guys, it's just displaying below, right? Oh my god, it's working. We're just looking at the top. I don't know why it's go down, right? Because after loading all this, then only it loaded, right? Okay, it's working. Fine. So I mean, you see now how we can use generate, right? To generate the component as well. That is the second way, right? But that is all enough. Let's quickly add one Next.js. Maybe not Next.js. We already have Next.js, right? Let's add the React project. Okay, so how are we gonna do that? So here we're gonna call something to our project, adding React project, right? So let's do that. What I will do, I'm gonna cd back to the main folder. So we are in the Turbo main project, right? Let's go to the cd app now, inside the app, right? Okay, we are inside the apps, and we're gonna create what I normally do, right? I'm just gonna add one project folder here. Let's call it maybe doc, right? Not doc, but medco. Okay, medicine inventory, right? Medco. So let's cd to the medco, cd to medco, right? And we're gonna install the Vite. Vite will help us to write React project. Okay, so go back here and then dot, because I want to install in the same medco folder. Okay, so that's why I put that. Yes, I just want to run React, right? React TypeScript is okay, no problem. Let's leave it TypeScript. So it installed now, right? It installed already. Okay, now it says like update package JSON to include repo UI as dependency, right? So see, in even we saw before, right, in the web and the doc, in our package JSON, what we saw there, we like we include this code, right, in the dependency, so that it will allow us to receive or import the component from the this dependency, right? Repo UI from UI. That's the reason. So we can add this easily, right? Let's copy that and go back to our Medco project, right? And in the JSON, in the dependency, okay, let's add it like that. Okay, done. That is the first thing. Now run npm install in the root folder, back to the root folder, right? In the root folder. So okay, let's do like, because see, even though we have, right, we have Medco projects you don't see here like node modules or any build and all that. You don't see yet. Okay. We have the only project, right? For example, what we're going to do is go back to the main project, right? So let turbo, right, handle everything for us. CD. I'm in the turbo now here. What I will do, I will run npm install. So turbo knows, right, how to designate. It will tell Medco project also, okay, you need to install certain things, right? So in the Medco now you see the node module added, okay, because we just did npm install, right? We just did npm install. Now we go back, right? I will just cut this and restart npm run dev. And because this Medco project inside your package.json also had the script dev, right? Development or build or lint. So when we run our turbo npm run build, that means turbo says, okay, you telling me to build project, right? So I will go and tell all my sub projects like Medco, docs, and maybe web to start building. I'll just tell them to start building, right? So that's what's gonna happen. Okay. The okay, so let's try to do that, right? Uh, let me cancel this server and run again, right? So I will say npm run development dev, right? Enter. Okay, so you see now localhost 5173, because we have only one React project, right? It runs in 5173. Okay, and it will also run the remaining, right? It will start other projects also, maybe slowly. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, press enter to interact, right? I don't know what is happening. It should run all the projects. Enter, I don't know. Okay, somewhere something is, yeah, it's running, right? Sorry guys, it's running. Okay, it's, you can see now it has localhost 3000. It should get 3001 and all that, right? Slowly. Okay, so in the node, okay, press enter. I don't why is asking you to press enter to interact, right? Control G to stop interacting. Okay, fine. So let's go and run the, like, let's close all this, right, and try to localhost 3000. So we get that project all running, right? And if I go localhost 3001, so it's also working, right? And then localhost 51, what was that for the it's somewhere on the top, right? It was running, but I don't know where is that. Should be somewhere here. I don't know why is we getting that. So we can click on the Medco. See, there is three things we can see here, right? The tags. Medco is running, web devs, and docs, right? So that's what we need to find. That is docs. Yeah, I saw the earlier 5173, I believe. Okay, let's look at, right, localhost 5173, right? That should be the E. See that the Vite running on, already, right? Vite is already running. Okay. So that's how you configure, right? Basically, that's how you add the projects. The next is, like, clean up the next development, right? When, for example, in any company, when you go, right, if there is something like this, Now you understand how to navigate through, how to figure out things, right? With this much idea, hopefully it will help. Okay. Now basically just clean up in the source folder app right here. So let's call it main, that is app. So inside the app you can delete everything, right? And just import okay, not import, right? React arrow function, this is the app. Save now. I see just app here, right? Now let's import that button. Okay, import button, right? Repo UI button. Okay, and then let's add it somewhere here. Button. Okay, this is from Medco, right? Medco. We have to pass now, at least we have to give what so we given this text, that is okay. We need to give one more thing, that was the app name, right? I think app name, yeah. So this is Medco. Save now, right? And you see you get the button here. This is Medco. If you click, it will the button has the code, right, to alert, display the alert box. Okay, and with the text, whatever name we pass, right? Fine. So we got that done, right? Now adding the, what you call that, the express server. Maybe like normally, if even if you are using, like most of the time you just need is the Next.js. Okay, Next.js app, because it has the already the APIs and all everything built inside, right, to create server. You don't have to create separate server in your project, because you will be writing up your API inside here, right? Yeah, correct. That's what you're going to do, API, and all right, all API. Or you just have a server action. So in one of the folder, you just create maybe server action files, right? So in that case, you don't have to create separate express server. But if, right, let's say if you want to add one, let's say one of the service, right? Maybe, I don't know, WebSocket or something that is maybe not supported by the uh, next app, right? Let's say one of the service is not supported by this Next.js server action, or maybe backend, right, is not supported. So in that case, you have to write express server. So how we can do that? That's the point, right? So I mean, here is some some guideline, right? Basically, just create a project folder, initialize it, add the TypeScript, and then change the config, right, of the TypeScript. So just take one example from the somewhere from the GitHub, and then like install Express, right? And then maybe create the index normally server, right? How we create a server, okay? And update also turbo JSON, right? So that is all the things. You're gonna add the script for build, so you want to build that project, right? Install ES build, install that package to create a, because this is a normal package, right? We don't have like a Vite or maybe Next.js to build our project, so we have to use maybe third party library, right, to build our project. So sometimes you have to just use something from outside. Okay, so let's quickly add that also, right? Let's call it backend. Backend, right? So we have to now go to the terminal and then work on that. So I'll just connect to this one. Okay, so cd. First I have to go to the apps, right? Cd to apps, like that. App. Oh, cd space app, right? Yeah. And then I'm gonna select cd backend. Okay. So the thing we need to do is first initialize the project, right? Because this is empty, we're gonna add our own server, right? So we're gonna say npm init dash y, right? That's how you add the Node.js. Basically initialize the project, right? That will give us package.json. Okay. So that's the backend, right? So how normally the name of the project is added, right? Let's take one example here, uh, in the web or doc, right? Let's go to the package. So that's the doc. That is okay, right? I think we can just leave it like backend. The only thing is we have to, if we need to use, you know, dependency, right? Just use, we have to add, I mean, basically the UI from the, repo UI, then we have to add that one there. But for now, let's leave it. No need to worry. Uh, okay, so the next thing is, let's add the uh, TypeScript, right? Let's copy that. Initialize the TypeScript, okay? So we get type config now, right here. So in this, see, this type config has everything, right? Lot of things. And we don't want to like put same code over and over, right? So what it suggests is you just like use from the repo TypeScript, right? Config. This is the base file, okay? You can import that from your base file. So I'll just copy this, delete everything here, right? So see in the repo TypeScript config somewhere here, right? The package TypeScript config. Look at here. It has separate TypeScript. It has base, Next.js, for Next.js JSON, package JSON, React library JSON. See, it has the base, right? So you just importing this one, okay, from this, right? See inside the package @repo slash, right? Uh, @repo slash, and then you are selecting, before for our UI was UI, right? I think source, okay. Here we're selecting TypeScript config and try to get that base, so that you don't need a lot of things, right? It has, base has already a lot of code for TypeScript. You just use that one, okay? That is one way. So maybe you're thinking how we get this from this example, right? One example, and just check how they are using, right? So it will import everything from the base. Compilation part will be, the library will be the React, JavaScript library is ES2015, right? That's the version of the JavaScript. Outdir means output directory. When you compile, right, the directory will be go to the dist, okay, and that is all we need, right? So let's get back. So we got TypeScript ready now. What is the next step? Basically installing the, so we can install now Express and the type for Express, right? So let's install that. Because we are using TypeScript, we must have to add. Okay, why not? Error copy. Okay. So npm install Express and @type/express. So filter set but no workspace, right? It gives npm workspace back in filter set but no workspace folder present. I don't know why it's error. So let's see if it added or not. Maybe not, right? Yeah, it did not add. So let's update, like for example, one more thing you have to understand, right? In the turbo JSON here, if we look at, right, okay, so I mean basically in the pipeline, what is the pipeline? It has build, depends on build, inputs, output, right? So output, basically we have the output for next here, okay? It will cache the Next.js, right? I mean, this is basically caching, okay? Next.js, anything dot next, So this one extend, right? Extend turbo JSON. Where are we gonna put this? npm install build, right? Npm install build package JSON workspace. Yeah, so we have everything inside the app, right? Everything in the app should be in the workspace already. That's fine. Yeah, I didn't test this. I should have tested, right? Okay, so let's see. Let me install one, right? npm install. Oh, npm install express. Okay, it added now, right? And then npm install at the rate types that express. Okay, so we got that, right? Let's go back. Just check the backend packages and now, and you'll find dependency with express types both here, right? And now we can add that, the if you want, we just add that at the rate. What was that? This part, right? We can add that also in our dependency if you want to use that code, from the UI. All right, so that is all done. Now we just need to create the server, right? So let's add server here, index dot yes, like that. And we're going to add some code, right? So the code, simple enough, just copy this code, right? So import express, const app, just run that express, right? And you have this local host, whatever will be the port here, okay? So that will be our root route, and you're just exporting the JSON file, right? Hello world, okay, from server. Simple. Get request, and then we're gonna listen to app.listen, right? Listen to the port. Let's make it 5000, okay? And if you want, you know, you can give a callback function also, something like console.log. This is turbo back in, right? Back in. Hope that will work. So we done, right? We have almost finished. We got the packages and ready. We got ts config. Okay, ts config here. I hope that will not complain. A module must be set to node next, right? When option module resolution is set to node next. Where this error is coming from? So in the TypeScript, let me check what is the module set for, right? Okay, so it's importing this one. That means node next, right? So there are different, like module, right? Like before was like, the, let me go back. What was that? Man, what is this error? Let me think. So it says, because we importing from the base, and the base has module set to node next, right? I believe we just have to add that node next, okay? Yeah, there are common JS, node next, node 16. There are so many modules, right? Common JS and all, ES next. But in our base, it is node next. So we just have to, like, just stay with that, right? I hope. So now what is this? Node next, right? Node. Okay, that's error is gone. So what is saying now? Go back to your basically, also we can set the build, right? How are we going to build our project? Okay, we don't have anything here to build, or maybe compile, right? To compile this one, we must write some code in our package.json. So we don't have, okay, close that. I need to go to the back in package.json and look for the script here. We don't have anything, okay? So first we're gonna use this library esbuild, right? So let's install that. Npm install esbuild, right? That will help us to build our project. And then we can write in our script this code, right? So let's put it on the top here. And you must separate with comma, right? Because they are object, okay? So if we run npm run build, if you run npm run build, right, it should build the project. And I believe it should start also, right? So let's see what we can name repo UI, right? I think that should work. Okay, I think that is all we need, right? So let's go back to the cd. Let's try to close all the server, right, and try to run again. Okay, so what we can do is npm run. Let's see if that will work, because I know we don't have something to compile, right? Npm run, we don't have that, right? So here I believe we need to add that. Let's add that. Npm run dev, right? So that is the dev, and when it go to the dev, it must do like esc dash b, right? Okay, typescript compile dash b. Let's keep it like that and see if that will do the job. Okay, let's hope for good, right? Npm run dev, right? So we get error. What is the error now? ESCB is not recognized as an internal or external command, right? Okay. We have to write node es. I think that is the one. The error is that's the error, right? I think that is the one. So let me delete this one. Okay, let's remove that, right? For example, and just run without that and see what happens. The localhost 3001 running. So we have doc, we have web, we have metco, right? But we don't have backend. So in the turbo JSON, right? Do we need to add that somewhere? No, it should take everything from the, like it should take everything from inside the app, right? We know that. Okay, fine. I don't see the, like back in here, right? Let's try localhost. What was that? 5,000, right? So we did not get that server running. Even in the apps here in the backend, right? Okay, it runs, it creates the node module. No, it was from before, right? It was there from before. But it did not add the, like a build. It did not build, right? Okay, let's try one thing. Npm run build and see what happened. Okay, now the backend was, basically backend added the turbo here, right? The only thing I don't see is in our dist folder with the index.js, right? We need index.js with a dist folder. Okay, so that did not happen. Okay guys, so let's I think need to just make some configuration here, right? I have to figure out like a script how to run that the build, right? So let me maybe go to the chat GPT and ask chat GPT, right? I'm using turbo repo, right? Repo, here is package JSON, right? For backing, can you give me the script for what to run, right? To run or npm run uh, or npm run dev, right? Like that, and see what it will give me. Okay, oh, it says add node one, right? uh okay, let's try. It's npm install node. I don't know, it shouldn't work, and then just add this, right? So after that we're just gonna add this, save, and then what it says, rebuild the project with es build, right? Es build, use node 1 to watch for a page source and rebuild with es build, restart node server. Back now and just try to run, right? npm run dev and see if that works. So we have DOP, we have backend, we have Medco, we have web, we have everything, I think, running one by one. So now check localhost 5000, right? We did not get that. What is the port we added, right? So let's see, in the index.js, yeah, listen to 5000. Okay, but the rest will be working. Localhost 5173 is working, right? So I think something to do with the connection here, right? I have to figure out that. Okay, uh, like to tell the turbo that we have a backend, right? Express server, and to kickstart that also, right? Somehow, somewhere, I need to, you know, I have to figure that out, guys. Okay, fine. So let's keep it up to here, right? I mean, you get the idea how the services are added, right, in the turbo repo. Means many services. This is one project, right? One project, but you can see the one more thing. When we add all this service, right, they can depend on the package. Like they can use the UI, right? Some components from UI here. They can do that, no problem, right? But we will try to not share. Just keep like backend will be itself, doc will be itself, right? We don't share between doc and Medco. It's not good idea, right? I think it says just keep it separate. Each project should be separate, right? Okay, and then of course backend is there, right? Maybe one of your project need backend, that is fine, right? But normally, like you have two front end, web and maybe doc or Medco, right? So in that case, we don't share code from here to here or here to here. Okay, we don't do that, right? We'll keep it like mostly isolated, right? Web is doing one thing, and only one thing, right? Metco is doing one thing only, okay? So in backend is just doing backend part, right? But for backend, maybe we have an API which is gonna be imported somewhere here. That is fine. Okay, so let me stop here. I will figure out that and maybe I'll quickly explain tomorrow, right?